Today we're going to be covering one of the best defenses in College Football 25's Dynasty Mode, Ultimate Team, and even the road to CFP. This defense is very aggressive. It's going to get you a ton of turnovers. It is very blitz heavy, so there's definitely times where you want to hop out of this and hop into coverage. But this is the kind of defense that you are going to send crazy pressure. You're going to get a lot of stops, and you're going to get a lot of turnovers because you're going to put a lot of pressure on the other team's user or the CPU to make quick split-second decisions because the pressure screams quickly out of this. But like I said, this is a very aggressive defense, so you want to mix it in. If you're not super great on offense, I don't think that a super aggressive defense is for you because you are going to give up scores in the defense like this. That's just the nature of the game, nature of the beast, but you are also going to get picks, you're going to get fumbles, you're going to get turnovers with this defense because it is very aggressive, and people are going to make mistakes. That's just part of it. But with that being said, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, helps me out a ton. Now let's hop into this defense. So we're going to start with the base defense. So this is the 5-2 normal. We're going to be in this pinch play on the far right. Keep in mind that in Ultimate Team, this is just called the Multiple D playbook. In Dynasty, I'm honestly not sure who has this playbook. If you're playing like Road to CFP, obviously you're limited to whatever team you're using. So I'm not positive what all has this book in it. I play Dynasty, I run my own Dynasty, and we have custom playbooks allowed. So we run 5-2, some of us, and it's become easily one of my favorite defenses in the entire game. So let's talk about the the substitutions first. So this is Ultimate Team. Obviously, I could show you in Dynasty as well. I do think building the roster in Dynasty is harder in some situations because it's harder to get the abilities where you want. Ultimate Team, you can obviously just put the abilities on the players that you want in certain spots. But the main thing we want here is our left end here, which is Clay. I'm going to sub in Parsons here. So Parsons actually has Silver Aftershock, and it is kind of one of the main sauces of this defense. Aftershock and Quick Jump. If you can get either of those or both of them, very nice to have. They put a lot of wear and tear on the quarterback, which is super valuable because even if you're not getting the sacks, you're still putting wear and tear on the quarterback. He's going to get slower, accuracy's going to get lower, throwing power, all that. And then on the opposite end, I have TJ Parker here. He also has Silver Aftershock. In a perfect world, like I said, you want Aftershock and Quick Jumps. I don't know the exact archetypes that would get that if there even is one. But in Ultimate Team, you can kind of pick and choose. You can do one Aftershock, one Quick Jump. You can do two Quick Jumps, two Aftershocks, whatever you want to do. And here's what's very important about this formation. So you've got Hausman, which I believe is how you say his name, and then right here we've got Lawson. So these two linebackers are really important. One is going to be blitzing, one is going to be your user. I try to put Hausman as the blitzer because he's a little bit slower. Lawson is the speedier of the two. He's also just kind of better all around as a user. Obviously, again, this is Ultimate Team. This is a 5-2, though, so you can't sub in safeties at this spot. So keep that in mind. You are going to be using linebackers. So you need good speed here for your user. So this is basically the way I set it up. The only thing I would change is just get my better defensive tackle in. The rest of this I leave default. You want players with good man coverage. I've got Will Johnson, Caleb Downs, Xavier Watts, and Noel Williams. I don't know their exact ratings, but they're all above 90 man, which I think is a threshold in this game. At least it is in man. Plus 90, 91 man. Can't really get much better than that, just aside from abilities. So they all meet that threshold if that is a thing in this game. So that's the setup. And then for your DBs, I didn't even talk about this part. Let me just hop into a formation real quick. And then let me pull up the audible screen. Okay, so your DBs. This is really important. You're going to be in man a ton. You can run this out of like the fire zone 2, cover 3, kind of turn it into a zone blitz. But here's what you truly want out of your DBs because the main setup is the pinch. So you're going to be in man. You see that everyone's manned up. I would flip this where Lawson's in man and the blitz is coming from Hausman. So this is how you set up. You're going to spread the line, which is left on the D-pad, spread the line out. We're going to blitz both linebackers, which is Lawson and Hausman, right on the D-pad, down on the right stick. We're going to press, and it's kind of wonky sometimes, but you want Hausman to come down in the gap, and you want Lawson to come down in the gap. So it's going to look like this. If you know the double A gap, it's very similar to that. I'm trying to just keep moving so the play doesn't snap. But this is the setup. Obviously, right here, pinch. You want everyone pressed up. If you have time, you don't always have time. Drag your safeties down. They don't press very well. You don't want them like right here on the line of scrimmage because they're going to get burned by if anyone's a seam threat. But I'd put them about maybe 3 to 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, just the way they're in the area. And then you want to hover this gap. And let's take a look at this play. They blocked the running back. Pretty good pass from the quarterback there. But as you can see, the blitz got in very quickly. That was actually one of the better blocking schemes too, because the running back did stay in. So what I would usually do, if you see the pressure was starting to get in, Parsons got there, and that was really bad user for me, honestly. I should be on this route. Just terrible. All right, so let's take a look at this again, and let's take a look with a better user for me. So we're going to press, spread the line, blitz both linebackers. I actually did the press first. You want to do the press last. That way the linebacker will come down. Drag your safeties in a bit. You can even put them kind of on the inside because these routes are really good against these safeties. Honestly, every route is good against safeties. Safeties just have really bad man coverage, period, point blank. But this is what we want to do here. Hold this gap. Running back's blocking. I'm on the tight end. You can see the pressure gets there very, very quick. In a normal game, he's got aftershock. He just applied some wear and tear to the quarterback right here. If I can get on the right guy. Gets in quick. You see he gets in completely untouched. This time the running back picks up the left side. We still get in there quick. It's the same concept as the double A gap blitz. And this is just the base defense. You can do adjustments out of this. If someone's hitting you with the flats, I mean, you can go over here with Parsons. I'm not saying this is perfect defense, but you could do something like this and hard flat these guys. So you're taking away your two best rushers, but you still got a 5-man, 3-man, 4-man front to get some decent pressure with. Then you've got the man coverage again. You're not always going to have time to make all of these adjustments, and the base defense is kind of the main important part of this, but you can see here, pretty solid defense, gain of about 3 yards. And against the CPU, this is a good quarterback. He's like a 92 overall. The CPU is going to make mistakes, users even more so because they're actual humans that have to read the field and can't just have computer programming pass the ball for them. So this is the setup. That's why I like to run it. Let me get back to that tight end. You can see Parsons and Parker hit him at the same time. Sometimes you get that little double aftershock, which is really nice because Parker hits him and then Parsons hits him, and that's double the aftershock. So he basically gets 2 smacks of wear and tear. Really, really nice to have that. I love when that happens. So that's the base defense. Like I said, you can even go fire zone 2. You can go to the cover 3 look. Every single formation, you're blitzing 5. I would do the same thing though, still hold these gaps. If you think the inside run is coming, maybe you don't spread the line, you pinch them instead. But aside from that, that's the main setup for the 5-2. The only thing you really want to get down with a defense like this is you want DBs that have good man ratings, first of all, I already said that, but you also want to have abilities that fit man schemes as well. So I don't know if I actually have them on anymore. Let me take a look at this. So I've got knockout on Noah Williams, and I actually think I need to change this. I don't like having it on a safety, but I have silver knockout on Xavier Watts, and I have silver knockout on Noah Williams. So as you can imagine, if they do catch it, I've got 2 players on the field now that have a chance of knocking that football out the second they catch it. This is also really useful for deep balls. They throw it deep. I feel like this works a little bit better in Madden, but they throw it deep, then knock out lights, they drop the football. Super nice to have. Obviously, you can get this on gold or plat, even better. The other abilities I would look for if you're playing Dynasty is you want jammer, you want, blanket coverage. Those abilities are going to change this defense from good to very, very elite. What really makes this defense go is having good man coverage and this pressure getting in fast. Because, again, if the pressure gets picked up, you've got touchdowns all over the field. That's why this defense is very aggressive. See right there, I pick it off. CPU is really easy to bait, nothing impressive about that. All right, now let's just show you this against just random plays. We'll kind of just run through a few plays. Blitz our linebackers, spread the line, press them up. It sometimes takes a couple of presses to actually make Hossman come down to the gap. I don't know why. Again, your safeties will not press. You can drag them down a little bit if you want. Don't drag them down too far where they get burnt by takeoff. But just a little bit. Like, so if they're running kind of RPO right now or anything to the flats, they'll be there. And then again, this is the setup. Running back, little RPO, pretty good defense. He was reacting a little slow on that, but we'll just kind of run through some more plays. Press everyone up. Again, if you have time, drag the safeties down, get them into position. I really like to have the safeties guard the outside. This is a lot of adjustment. Sometimes you just don't have time. But if you press Y and then A, you can do an individual adjustment. And I'm going to do Rivers And I'm going to tell Downs to guard him on the right side because I want him to come towards the middle of the field. Because if he comes to the middle of the field, I'm here to user this. Obviously, I have to also watch out for the running back. If he goes out on the route, that's my responsibility. But I can at least kind of shade the running back, get back to the middle. That's the way I like to play this. So let's run it again. Get in my gap. Touch the guard. I'm out there to guard the running back. Pressure gets there. Parsons is there. This defense is aggressive. If you get time to throw it, there is very good routes on the field that will beat this defense. But that's why you send the pressure, and that's why you have to be good on offense to run a defense like this. You see Parsons gets in there, puts the wear and tear on the quarterback. And the thing is that makes this defense so good is as the game goes on, it gets even better because the quarterback is getting hit more and more and more. His wear and tear is getting added up over and over and over. I know I'm throwing a lot at you at once, but this is it just adds so much to this defense. Very good throw by him. The CPU is actually sometimes better at picking up these blitzes than actual people are. It's kind of hilarious to think about, but that's just the way it is, especially because we're an ultimate team, so there's 90 overall receivers everywhere. There's a 92 overall quarterback. You have to think, in Dynasty, sometimes you're going against 80 overall wide receivers, 75 quarterbacks. Something I didn't really talk about with this specific formation is I'm honestly unsure of what I think about this D against the run. So you still spread the line, blitz the linebackers, press everybody up. There comes Hossman finally. Drag Watts down. So my responsibility here is the fullback in this scenario, but we know that it's a run play. Pretty solid defense. I think if he hits the hole a little bit better, maybe that's a 3 or 4 yard gain. We'll try it a few more times. Again, there's better run plays than this too. This is not a great I-form play. But I think the run defense out of this is pretty solid, especially because you're spreading the line, so you're getting that outside leverage. Pretty solid defense there again. Let's take a look at a couple shotgun runs as well. All right, so let's take a look at some shotgun runs. I think that it's pretty solid against those as well. I like this defense a lot more than the double A gap, actually. The double A gap just has terrible run defense. I feel like this actually has a pretty solid chance of stopping the run. You see, we come in free, inside zone. We got 3 people hitting him at once. I mean, there was not a chance of him doing anything. I think it's just because of the way the line spreads out and the way your linebackers get in this gap. You're given 2 free shots on the running back because sometimes these outside edge defenders don't get touched. And then sometimes, if they do, then your linebackers in the middle, like Lawson and Hossman, will just come right up the middle and stop the running back for a loss. So run it again. Try to shut off. Broken tackle, kind of lucky. But you saw the defense is there. That's just part of the game. Sometimes broken tackles are going to happen. It is what it is. But again, let's run it one more time just to show you that this is pretty solid run defense as well. Obviously, it's designed for the pass, but I've had pretty good luck running this out of the against the run. Again, yeah, we're all over it. So I would try to run this more, build the scheme around it. I think that this gets better and better as you build the formation around it. The corners are important. Your linebackers are important. I would say this is one of the most important defenses as far as abilities and the attributes. And it is harder to build in Dynasty. I'm just going to be honest. Unless you're playing as the big top dog teams like Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, whoever else that has really good recruiting. It may take some time to build the scheme the way you want. If you're an ultimate team guy, much easier on you. But I'm starting to build this in my Michigan Dynasty, and I think we're going to be pretty solid, honestly, just the very next season. If you just spend the time in one season to recruit for this and build the players to the right archetypes, it's honestly not super bad, especially because abilities are in more abundance in Dynasty. You may not get the exact ones you want as easy, but there's just more abilities, period, across the board. Again, especially if you're playing as the better teams in the game. It takes a little bit more time with the lower squads. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry, I know that I spoke very quick, very often, and that may be annoying to some of you, but we got the information to you in a pretty solid time, in my opinion. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm Real Jev, and I'm out.